Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's midnight now here in Cairo, and this is a new edition of Panorama News. In the upcoming 35 minutes, we'll be bringing you the latest of the political, economic and sports news from all around the world. I'm Hani Sif, I'll be your host for tonight, and we'll start off with the political news, and these are the headlines. President Sisi holds talks with visiting Sudanese foreign minister in Cairo. Egypt strongly condemned on Tuesday Houthi militias' missile attacks on Saudi Arabia. And Libya denies deferring confidence vote meeting in Sirte. Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi instructed on Tuesday to continue efforts aimed at promoting companies and factories affiliated to the Ministry of State for Military Production, especially within the framework of its pivotal role in developing the national economy and upgrading national industry. During his meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and Minister of State for Military Production, Mohammed Ahmed Morsi, the President stressed on the significance of implementing national mega projects nationwide, hailing the pivotal role played by the ministry in producing and developing military ammunition. President Sisi also gave his directives to expand cooperation with specialized giant international companies, which have big experiences in this field, with the aim of reaching the latest modern technologies and localizing industries, as well as opening new horizons for innovative and promoted industries in Egypt. Presidential spokesman Bassem Radi said the meeting tackled the implementation of developing military factories and companies strategy. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held talks with visiting Sudanese Foreign Minister Mariam al-Sadiq al-Mahdi in Cairo on Tuesday, during which the President confirmed anew Egypt's constant stance of the significance of reaching a binding legal agreement regarding filling and operating Ethiopia's dam, taking into consideration interests of water rights of downstream countries. President al-Sisi asserted that Egypt supports Sudan at all dimensions of bilateral ties for the sake of cooperation, construction and development. The head of state expressed Egypt's support to all peace and stability efforts in Sudan during this crucial stage in its history, as well as its keenness to enhance bilateral ties, especially in the trade exchange and electric linkage and lines fields. For her part, the Sudanese minister said her country is looking forward to promoting mutual efforts to enhance joint cooperation, hailing Egypt's sincere support to maintain Sudan's stability. Earlier, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and his Sudanese counterpart, Mariam al-Sadiq al-Mahdi, held talks that centered on bilateral ties and issues of mutual concern, including Ethiopia's dam. The two top diplomats held a joint press conference following their talks.
At a joint press conference following their talks in Cairo, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and his Sudanese counterpart, Mariam al-Sadiq al-Mahdi, stressed the importance of reaching a binding legal deal over the filling and operation of the so-called Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. The top diplomats said they backed reaching such a deal that would protect the interests of the three countries and preserve the water rights of Egypt and Sudan and limit the harms on the two downstream countries. The minister stressed that Cairo and Khartoum have a serious political will to achieve this aim as soon as possible, adding that they appreciate efforts by South Africa during its chairmanship of the African Union in the negotiations over the dam. Shoukry said discussions over Ethiopia's dam are aimed at reaching a fair agreement. The two ministers welcomed Congo's leadership of the AU during the current round. Shoukry and al-Sadiq al-Mahdi expressed concern over the collapse of the AU-sponsored dam talks. They said Ethiopia's announcement to start the second filling of the dam unilaterally poses a direct threat to the water security of both Egypt and Sudan. They said Cairo and Khartoum strongly back Sudan's proposal to develop the AU's negotiations mechanism by forming an international quartet, including the UN, the EU, and the US, and led by Congo, to mediate in the negotiations. They said there is a need to continue coordination between the two countries in the Ethiopian dam file and agreed to brief Arab countries on the latest developments with regards to the talks. On bilateral ties, the two sides discussed developing trade cooperation in fields of investments open to the Egyptian companies in Sudan. Stressing the significance of fostering bilateral ties, Minister Shukri reiterated that there are vast chances of cooperation with Sudan in the fields of education, agriculture, and the economy. For her part, Minister Al-Mahdi appreciated Egypt's support for Sudan, saying her country is looking forward to expanding ties with Egypt in various domains. On Ethiopia's dam, the Sudanese minister said there is an importance of reaching an agreement to reach a legal deal over its filling and operation. She stressed that Ethiopia lacks a political will to reach a deal, and that's why it was taking unilateral decisions, noting that the first and second filling of the dam showed the seriousness of the situation. Regional and international issues of mutual concern, especially developments in Libya, also topped the agenda of the two top diplomats' talks. Maritime security in the Red Sea, the Palestinian issue, and stability in Syria as well as Yemen were also reviewed, as well as the economic repercussions of the coronavirus pandemic on the African states.
Lieutenant General Mohammed Farid is heading a senior military delegation in the Egyptian-Sudanese Military Committee meetings in the Sudanese capital Khartoum. The committee is headed by Farid and his Sudanese counterpart. During his visit to Khartoum, the Chief of Staff holds a number of meetings focusing on military cooperation and strategic partnership between the two countries. The Aswan Forum for Peace and Sustainable Development continued its activities on Tuesday. The forum, in its second edition, is held through video conference due to the coronavirus circumstances. It is held under the theme Formation of New Normality in Africa, Recovery in a Stronger Way and Better Reconstruction. Heads of states and governments, as well as senior officials and experts, are attending the event. The forum witnesses 3 sessions. The first one is over women and peace and security in Africa during the corona pandemic and afterwards. The second session discusses activating structural protection in Africa. And the third session is held under the title Swift Economic Recovery for Structural Transformation. The Homeland Protectors Party on Tuesday denied rumors circulating in social media pages concerning a bill alleging selling irrigation water to farmers. The party denied rumors regarding the government and Parliament's approach for a water resources draft law. Its parliamentary offices refuted reports claiming the government is intending to sell irrigation water to farmers, reiterating that the government is fully committed to provide water for all beneficiaries in the agricultural sector. The party stressed that the government aims at better utilization of the water resources through applying modern irrigation systems. Members of the Coordination of Parties and Youth Politicians, as members of the House of Representatives, followed up on a presentation on the National Academy for Training presented by Dr. Rasha Raghib, the Executive Director of the Academy, during its meeting with the members of the Legislative and Constitutional Committee, which included a report on its achievements that was highly praised by the attendees and the coordinating representatives. The clear plan of this proposal for an ambitious vision for the Academy and an outlook for the future of Egypt's human wealth. It appreciates the role of its young graduates of the Presidential Program for Youth Qualification and Executive for Leadership Partners of Success and Construction, looking together for a better future for Egypt and its youth in various fields. Egypt strongly condemned on Tuesday Houthi militias' missile attacks on Saudi Arabia. In a statement, Egypt reaffirmed its full support for all measures taken by Saudi Arabia to protect its security and stability, as well as ensure the safety of its citizens against these cowardly terrorist attacks that undermine regional peace and security and violate international humanitarian laws. Earlier, Saudi Arabia's civil defense said a military projectile launched by Yemen's Houthis fell in Jazan region on the border with Yemen and injured 5 civilians.